most wanted munda. ये है most wanted munda. He's the most wanted munda.
I think it was a sweet coincidence. I was looking to work with a slightly more experienced hand. I was, and he happened to come in my life, so I did go with the flow. See, experience is in two ways. The number of films you do, that is one way of looking at it. Even the life you've led. So when you work with a homie Adajani, he's a very experienced person. He's led a very full, rich life. So that is important when you're working with him. He might have only made 3 films, but that mattered to me. So even Habib sir, he's led a very full life. He's been a writer. He worked with NDTV. So when he does Ishaq Zada, it might be his second film, but his life has allowed him to be a very experienced man. Same way with Balki sir. I looked at him as somebody who's a wealth of experience. I wanted to work with somebody who can really take care of me. I wanted to be nurtured in a film for a change. I'd just done a couple of films where I was all over the place, running around trying to make it happen. Especially Tevar was me all over the place trying to make sure the film aise karte, ye karte. I wanted to feel like an actor again. So he came in very handy here. He calmed me down. He made me feel like a debutant again in a new way. He nurtured my performance, and I really enjoyed that. So I'm glad this coincidence happened in my life where I was looking for an experienced hand and I found him.
And now you're continuing that.
Correct. See, I've always wanted to work with Mohit. I always feel whatever happens for the best. I'm working with him, I think, at the best time of my life. And I can give him 200% in this film. Because that is the only film I'm going to concentrate on for the next 7-8 months. And I think a director like him needs that. You need to give certain directors that kind of time to get into your space. He's somebody who likes to spend time with you. And that is very important to me also. I would ideally like to do that with every film. I'm in that position where I can work towards only Half Girlfriend for the next 9 months without being stressed. Now when I do a key and cut, I feel validated here on the first day to do 7.25. Nobody in the film industry or the trade or the media would have given this film the shot to cross 6.
We were having a conversation that week prior. Yeah.
So 6 would be, everybody would have been jumping for joy. With word of mouth and everything in the morning, it started like a 4 crore film.
Exactly.
With word of mouth, it can go up to 6, 6.5. But to reach that 7.3 means that there is genuine love for the actor also. It's a very actor-driven profession and it's a very actor-driven audience base also. And the role was very actor-friendly. It's a hero's film in that sense. It's a new hero that you're seeing. That little extra push or that 10-15% extra, gives you that feeling that you crossed over that hurdle of it being just a word-of-mouth film to being your opening as well. And I'm not somebody who likes to take credit for things, but I do feel very, very elated and I feel responsible that I've been able to enhance a film for a change. All my films I've done so far have helped my career. I feel my career has helped this film to put up these numbers from the get-go.
Which is a great attitude to have because not many actors would think that way. Because do you think you get the edge because you're from the film fraternity in terms of your...
Yeah, I think Varun and me are very similar in that sense. Varun is still younger than me, or maybe I'm a little more realistic also. And I always weigh the sides of everybody. I'm a producer's son. I've wanted to be a director and I've become an actor. So I have all 3 perspectives. Plus, I understand the profession. I'm very realistic. I've never been somebody who holds himself in higher regard than he should. I knew I was building a career, so it's not like मैंने 100 crore की blockbuster दी. That was the film. I happened to be part of a correct film.
At the right time.
At the right time. Yeah. And my performance was obviously good, that's why the film did well. So a film cannot do well if you're not appreciated as the main lead of a film. Ishaq Zade was the film here. It is not कि अरे क्या मैं superstar का बेटा आ रहा था और picture ने 45 crores मारे. The film was.
The attitude was right.
The performances have always been what has been important to me, but I have never started believing I'm above a film. I've never believed that and I will never believe that because we are too young to start thinking that. But obviously when a film does higher numbers than you expect, you're like, okay, there is a positivity or there is a connect with the audience. That is important. I'm not still saying कि अरे मैं Arjun Kapoor की picture आएगी तो ऐसे होगा. That is not the thought. But it is yaar, people like to see Arjun Kapoor on the big screen. That's a very positive feeling to have when I'm doing Half Girlfriend. If Ki and Ka can do 7+, the hope is Half Girlfriend will do better than that. You only hope to grow with every film. And that will continue hopefully. It was important somewhere for me to see numbers along with the film being appreciated. And it's going to do very decent numbers for the kind of film it is, the kind of genre it is and the kind of audience it appeals to. See, I was told one very important thing that is stuck in my head. Aditya Chopra met me and he said, the future is of actors. You will be a star if you're a good actor. Look at Ranbir Kapoor. That time when I was making my debut, he was an actor who was becoming a star because of the choices, because of taking risks. I have always retained that thought in my head. For me to be here for 20, 25, 30 years, I need to be a damn good actor in every film. People have to want to feel they can take me for granted कि मैं अच्छी acting करूँगा picture में. It should never be देखते ही अच्छी कर पाएगा इस बार की नहीं. I don't want to be inconsistent. That I've always worked hard on. Film's fate is never going to be in my hand alone. Okay. So I have obviously focused, and I've also chosen roles specifically to know that okay, I can push myself in this. I want to try experiment with this, to do an English film or to do a double role or to do key and carb, to play a homemaker with the imagery that so-called I have of being an action hero.
And even to do 2 states when at that
Yeah,
point
at that point everybody said don't do romantic films because you're cut out for the intense brooding action films. I still did one because I felt right about it. Because I felt there was scope to perform in a different way. He was a new hero. चश्मे पहन के चौथी पिक्चर में चश्मे पहन के कौन सा यहाँ एक्टर घूमने को तैयार हो जाता है. I took that risk. I enjoyed it. I loved it. And I will always look at acting first and foremost above box office collections because that's not in my hands. I have to do my work very well. The film doing well,
craft. Like you want to stay true to your craft.
the film doing well is the director making the film. You have to believe in him that he will pull it off because he knows what he's making. We all hope films do well, but my concentration is always first and foremost. अगर मैं काम अच्छा करूँगा तो पिक्चर को उससे प्लस ही मिलेगा.
Now you're doing only one film a year. Is that a like thought
Strategy?
process? Yeah.
No, that's also because I've not liked a lot of stuff that's come my way. The kind of work that I want to affiliate with has not jumped at me and popped at me the way it was in the beginning of the career. For obvious reasons. There's a saturation of the market. There are not enough films being made. In the ones that are being made, because they didn't do well, you are not exactly first choice every time. So you're being offered stuff that हाँ ये कर सकते हैं अगर और कुछ नहीं आए तो. So I was patient. I found Balki sir's film. I loved it. I got खतरों के खिलाड़ी. I said I'd rather do a TV show than do a bad film.
And what kind of what was that experience? Because no actor at that point again takes a risk like that.
But I wanted to take that risk because I knew कि उसका payoff मेरी पिक्चरों को मिलेगा जो मिला है. Kian has got the payoff of doing खतरों के खिलाड़ी. In some way you can't quantify the number, but there is a genuine connect that you get by TV, which has only enhanced the prospects of my films. If the film is good, I'm not saying बुरी पिक्चर चल जाएगी क्योंकि टीवी की है, but अच्छी पिक्चर definitely will get more mileage because they know me from television. A lot of people who've not seen my film. So yeah, I was being offered stuff that I was not really looking forward to. I loved Balki sir's film, and now I loved Half Girlfriend after that. The Half Girlfriend will shoot this year. It's coming next year because the release date had to be correct. It's a big film and it's a good release date. तो वो 2-3 महीने ज़्यादा लगेगा आने को, but I don't mind taking that. See, I think it's good. It works. One film a year keeps the hunger alive also. Maximum 2 films a year. But today, if I finish Half Girlfriend by September, October, post Diwali, I can start shooting another film and that might also come next year. तो अब वो लग रहा है कि साल में एक कर रहा हूँ, अगले साल 2 भी आ सकती है. तो it's still very far away, you know. So I'm not intentionally planning 1 film a year. What is appealing to me, I'm going. So, and if you look at it here, after doing 7 films, Half Girlfriend is my 8th film. Now I'm at that point where after 10 films you really know where you stand as an actor, you know. So you want your 10 films ka filmography to be as unique and as special as possible. I think all of us young actors are at 6, 7, 8 films. 10 के बाद थोड़ा बहुत पता लग 10 पिक्चर और 5 साल हो जाएंगे almost, you know. So we'll all know कौन कितने पानी में. So it's a good space to slow down a little bit, check yourself, see what is happening, be a little conservative in choosing to do 5 films, do 1 film. पिक्चरें तो बहुत कर सकते हैं, बट उसमें सैचुरेशन कितना होता है मार्केट का. लाइक तेवर आई फेल्ट सफर्ड बिकॉज ऑफ द सैचुरेशन. आई डिड गुंडे 2 स्टेज फाइंडिंग फनी तेवर इन 1 कैलेंडर ईयर. तो यू आर सीइंग मी ऑन टीवी एवरी डे. व्हाट इज द न्यूनेस? कियन का माइट हैव बीन अ फ्रेश फिल्म, बट द फैक्ट दैट आई केम आफ्टर ईयर मेड इट लुक इवन मोर फ्रेश. द ड्राइव इज टू सर्वाइव द लॉन्गेस्ट. द ड्राइव इज to be the lambi race ka ghoda. The short termism is to get paranoid if other people are doing better than you at that point, and that is bound to happen. Every year somebody will do better than you, somebody will do worse than you. Last year I had a great year, this year somebody else had it, some next year some, you know what I'm saying. So that is a continuation. You need to reach a point where you are not going to get affected by hits and flops in this profession. You still have your star value, you still have something you bring to the table, you still can command and demand that respect. It's a 20-year plan you need to have in mind. You can't have a 2-year plan. Because अगर वो बात होती तो फिर look at, for example, I'll give you, look at Akshay Kumar. See his journey. He had 14 flops at one point in time, but he just kept at it. And today he's done a film like Airlift that has done 120 crores. Salman Bhai has seen ups and downs. Shah Rukh has seen ups and downs. Amir has seen ups and downs. Ajay, Saif, who was written off. He's achieved tremendously after. The point is to survive. You don't have to be number one while surviving because that number one cannot be quantified. ये Friday तेरी picture लगी तू number one है. अगले हफ्ते किसी और की लगेगी वो number one बन जाएगा. It is only that 2 weeks of happiness that you're going to get being
It's also
number
very
one.
subjective.
It's very subjective. You put 100 people in a room, everybody has their own favorites. Regardless of hits and flops. So the urge is to survive long enough that you get to work with whoever you want to work with. पहले 5 साल में शायद मैं काम करूँ पर 15 साल में 20 साल में तो मौका मिल ही जाएगा ना जिन डायरेक्टर के साथ काम करना है जिन लोगों के साथ कोलैबोरेट करना है वो मौका मिल ही जाएगा. I'm very patient that way and I believe in myself. See, that is the most important thing. You have to believe that you can hold your own. I don't feel insecure standing next to somebody. If you see, I'm one of those actors who goes and is positive with everybody. I interact with everybody from my generation. Whether it's Ayushman, whether it's Adi, whether it's Ranveer, Varun, Siddharth. I'm very excited to work with all of them because I feel that is what will build all of us together when we all work together. Having this negativity between us is only going to make us bitter. You need to all work together. Yeah? Like I love doing Undu. I can't
Not
wait.
many actors would do it.
Yeah, but I can't wait to do another film. I know a lot of actors are not doing that. I want to. So maybe I'm the exception to the rule, but I don't mind being that. Yeah? Like honestly, I feel that is the future. Eventually, we will have to have material that brings two boys together, two people together, because otherwise there's going to be
String of just solo
releases. Which is kind of boring also. Na,
if there are 7 right now, next year they might add to the group in terms of fewer actors.
Like when I'm standing next to Ranveer and doing a scene, my performance goes up because I want to do as well as him or I want to do better than him in my own competitive way. I want to say, yaar, mera take acha tha. I want to that competition is healthy. You're still working towards the film. So hopefully that will change. I don't see it as competition per se. I don't have to beat anybody to be successful. In most competitions, you have to beat other people. How can I beat another person when I'm not involved in their films? I have to keep doing well on my own and I'll be a success in my own way. No?
Yeah, until you're doing those genres, those time frame releases, then you pitting each other is making sense,
which
right?
nobody is actually.
Exactly. Everybody's smart enough in that way, right?
Like, I mean, you can't compare, let's say for example, you can't compare what Ranveer has done to us, no? But he gets compared to us. He's leaps and bounds ahead of us. So I feel comparisons are unfair and silly. The only thing I can say I understand is because we've all made our debut together at the same time, there's always a sense of we are grouped together in conversation. But I think in the next couple of years we'll all find our own rhythm and feet. We'll all find it. I do truly feel most of us have.
For more awesome news and newer content every week, please subscribe to our channel below and like and share our videos. No gossip, no hearsay, just facts and new fun content every week. Catch all that and more only on Super Cinema's YouTube channel.